guys, this is Rachel from Blue Jane Creations, and I just wanted to come on in and around all the other stuff that I'm working on. I am still practicing and learning with the Gelli printing, specifically the image transfer. And I did another round. It was a bit of a fail because as I'm learning that you have to have a lot of ink or toner on your inkjet or laser jet printer copies of the pages. I think in a previous video I had mentioned I've been finding copyright-free vintage photos from Flickr, but you have to be careful. I don't think I can stress that enough anytime that I'm talking about it. If you're looking for vintage photos, definitely be sure that there's no copyright attached. You have to be very sure, particularly if you're using it for commercial art, which is what I'm gearing towards. But in any case, if you have practiced this and it didn't work, I'll share what I've found is that you have to have a lot of contrast and you have to have a lot of toner on your laser jet. They've been saying that the inkjet copies don't work. I don't really I mean, I have a color printer, but I'm using that for other stuff. I don't want to, because that ink is so expensive, I don't want to waste it trying, hit or miss projects doing image transfers. So I'm sticking with the laser jet printer that I have. But what I've found, if you run into issues like me where the images aren't transferring very well, is you want to print multiple copies. Or, I'm sorry, let me restate that. You want to print the image multiple times, and you can do it on the same page that you're printing. So what I can do next time that I'm printing off these images, these were all free images from the Flickr, is I need to bump up the contrast for one thing in the photo app. And then what I can do is reprint these. I don't have to ditch these copies. I can just take them and load them into my printer manually and then just print like one or two more times on top of what's already here to build up that toner layer to get a better image in the transfer. And I'll show you some of the examples that I ran into. I didn't know at that point that you had to have a heavy base of the laser toner on it. So you can see some of these, there's supposed to be an image here and it didn't come through because there wasn't enough toner on the page. So they kind of got washed out. Like this one, I think I had too much of, I had wiped down the Gelli print from a magazine pull and it was still too wet, so I think that's where I got this bubbling right over the face. Like you can kind of see her head and a little bit of the lower portion of the fashion photo. So again, I have to remember, make sure that the Gelli plate is dry when you try to go in and do the pull. So that was also a mistake. I almost got a few images. Some of these were just regular pulls, so I don't really want to spend too much time on those. Those are more standard. I'm trying to zero in on what I've been learning about the image transfer. It's just right now it is so fascinating for me to do this and to learn how to do it. So on this one, I don't even know which photo this is. I can't even tell. But you can see there's just a little bit of the image transferred here and in here. But again, because I did not have enough toner on the page, it doesn't, my English, it did not transfer properly. It was not enough. So I can't even tell at all like where any image was. It doesn't look like anything came through at all here. So just a note, if you're learning the Gelli print image transfer like I am, you know, what to kind of look out for if I get a spot where I can try the inkjet, I will give it a go, but as of right now, it's pretty expensive to make a lot of mistakes with that, so I'm definitely right now going to stick to the laser jet. And also a fun note, even after you do the pull, and if it doesn't work, I think these images are pretty interesting for background layers in art journaling. Or I could even use them as backgrounds for mixed media style greeting cards. So don't waste these either. These are a lot of fun to work with, just in and of themselves after you do the image pull. So you always have something to work with. Like even the magazine, this was what that one image was supposed to look like. I'll bring it back so you can see. This is, you can get an idea of what was there and what actually came through. But all of this stuff is never wasted. You can always use all these things as backgrounds for your art journaling and mixed media cards or whatever project you're working on. So don't waste them. Don't waste them. Just because they didn't actually work as an image pull, you can still have fun with what's left. So again, what I've been learning is you need to have a good base of toner. So like I need to reprint, and I still have the files. I can reprint these without trashing this page. I can just print right over what's already here another 1 to 2 times to really build up that laser toner layer and then try it again. So but I just wanted to come on because of all the stuff that I'm learning, and again just to share what I've been doing in case you're new to it as well. So all the ones that I haven't used yet, of these images again that I got off of Flickr, I just reprint them as they are right on top of what's already here and build up that layer, and then I will definitely try it again, and I'll come back and do a video. That probably won't be a speaking video like I'm doing now, but I'll show you the next attempt at using these images for the transfer. And then I do have a whole bunch. Like anything that's in the magazine, that's just for personal use. I can't use these commercially because these are all copyrighted images. But this was just like a $7 magazine. I believe it was an Elle magazine, but don't quote me now. I've got the actual magazine is buried somewhere. I pulled out what I wanted to use, and then I packed up the rest of the magazine somewhere. But yeah, you can just use all of these image transfers for fun, for using in the art journaling, you know, but you just can't use these. I could not turn around and use these as a commercial art piece because I'd be in violation of the copyright. That is definitely tantamount to crafters. You really have to be aware of the legality of what you're using. It's one of the reasons why I stopped using Disney products. I don't use Disney products or anything that's copywritten images for commercial use of things that I make to sell. I can use them for gifts that I make for people directly from me to them. That is not in violation because that's not, I'm not making any money. But to take like Disney stickers or anything like that, and they do check. It, you know, may take a while if you're selling Disney themed stuff without a license for them to find you, but they will, because they take their copyright extremely seriously. So if you've been using Disney products to make and sell stuff, you really might want to rethink that. I hadn't gotten into it too much when I first started doing the craft shows, and thankfully none of the cards that I had made with Disney images sold. So that was also helpful. I was able to yank them, and then I gifted them out to people. I just used them somewhere else as a gift. So that way I was no longer in violation of the copyright. And I understand, you know, copyright is an important thing to protect our rights as creators and all of that. So I definitely don't want to be a violator. So in any case, Like I said before, Flickr is a great resource. It can be free. You don't have to get the membership like I did. You want to start at the Commons section on Flickr. The majority of those are free, but you can always, when you click on the image, scroll down and it'll tell you, it'll say copyright reserved or no copyright available or known or whatever the little message is. They are very clear in indicating what is copywritten and what is not. You know, what is free to use for personal and commercial use. So again, Flickr, if you are trying to do the image transfer and you're using the LaserJet, print your image on that same page at least 2 to 3 times to build up that toner layer. You want to get as deep of contrast as you can when you're manipulating the images for printing, because any image can be turned into black and white. So you got all kinds of your personal images that you want to use, modify them in a photo app and get as much contrast as you can. And then when you print it, take that same page and reprint over it 2 to 3 times to build up the layer. And that should hopefully give you a good pull when you do your Gelli print transfer. Nothing is perfect. Gelli printing will never be perfect. There's always going to be issues of one kind or another. So sometimes, you know, you'll get a great pull and sometimes not so much. But that will increase your odds of getting a better pull consistently if you follow the steps that I've been learning. And there's a lot of resources. You can just type in Gelli print image transfer and a whole bunch will come up if you're still looking for tutorials on how to do it. But I just wanted to share my take on what I've learned and a quick little example of what didn't work and why. I did get one pretty good one. I'll leave you with that. I was having fun pulling up images, and one of them was an older photo of, can't remember if it was Eisenhower or if it was Lyndon B. Johnson. I can't remember now. Because of course, once you cover them, then you can't really see who was in the original picture. But let me see if I can find one really quick to show you. It almost worked. It would have been great if I'd have had enough toner on the page. I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. And let's see if I can find the image that is now inked over. It might be buried in my stash. I've got a box now, like a case, an empty paper case, like if you get a big case of paper packs for your printer. I'm using one of those. And let me go, this one is the original, and I think I got, let me go with that one instead of the Eisenhower. That one might be better to try to show you the example. Sorry, hopefully this page flipping isn't too loud on the camera. I think it was just so bad I couldn't, I don't even get a recognizable image. Oh, so many papers. That's the thing that makes it so addictive, is you can pull a lot of papers really quickly, and then before you know it, you have a huge stack of Gelli printed pages to work from. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find what I'm looking for. I can't find the original on that. So in any case, I don't know how much it'll translate in here, but you can kind of see his face. Like, here's his hand in this area, and then here's his face. You can just barely make it out, like the suit coat and the shirt and his hand, and then you get the profile shot of his face, and then you can't, I can get like the shoulders of the dude he was talking to, but I didn't really get anything of the face. It's just kind of blobby. So if I'd have had enough toner on this paper when I did the pull, it would have worked. But you know, it's fun. It's learning. It's all about learning. I'm not bothered by any of the mistakes, because you can always turn it and use it for something else. But that's what I mean. If you don't have enough toner on the page, then you get a very, very washed out image. So hopefully you're having fun with it. Hopefully, you know, like everything. I mean, everything is a learning. Everything is learning in crafting, and I don't really view anything as mistakes because that's the best way to learn, I think. So in any case, I'm gonna leave this off here, and then I'm gonna rework the images. I'm gonna reprint the ones that I have left with the extra toner and build that up. And then I'll just come on and film. You know, I won't do all of them, but I'll do like a short video showing the reboot of fixing the toner problem, and show you, did it work or do I still need to practice? Because of course you have to give in for user error on stuff like this. Like, you know, not letting your jelly plate dry fast or long enough before you came in to try to do the next thing. So all right, well, take care, you guys. Stay safe. Thank you guys so much for watching and letting me chat with you. And then I will see you in the next portion of this. We'll call it part 2 of more jelly printing learning, I guess. So I will see you very soon.